My name is Emma. I'm 33 years old. Last night, my ex-husband laughed at my simple dress in front of 300 people. He looked straight at me and said, "Some people never level up." The crowd laughed with him. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just smiled. Because a few minutes later, when my husband walked into that hall, his face turned completely pale. Before I tell you what really happened that night, make sure you like and subscribe. Now let's begin. For a long time, I believed I was too simple for the world my ex-husband lived in. Daniel and I were married for 6 years. In the beginning, he liked that I was quiet. He used to say I was classy. But as his business grew, his words changed. Classy became boring. Simple became small. He started caring more about how things looked than how they felt. A bigger house, a more expensive car, more powerful friends. And slowly, I started feeling like I didn't belong next to him. At business dinners, he would talk over me. At parties, he would correct me in front of others. Once, when I wore a soft blue dress to a company event, he leaned close and whispered, "You could at least try to look expensive." That night, I cried in the bathroom. Not because of the dress, but because I realized something. He didn't want a partner, he wanted an accessory. Our divorce wasn't dramatic. No screaming, no broken plates, just cold words. "You'll never survive at this level," he told me the day we signed the papers. "You're not built for it." I didn't fight him. I just signed, and I left. For the first year after the divorce, I stayed quiet. I worked, I learned, and I rebuilt myself piece by piece. Not louder, not flashier, just stronger. I stopped trying to impress people. I stopped trying to fit into rooms that never respected me. And slowly, my life changed. Not in a way that made headlines, but in a way that made me proud. Then, 3 weeks ago, I received an invitation. A gold envelope, heavy paper, embossed letters. It was for one of the biggest charity galas of the year. 300 guests, top business leaders, media coverage, high-level sponsors. And right there, listed as one of the executive board members hosting the event, was Daniel's name. I stared at it for a long time. I could have ignored it. I could have stayed home. But something inside me said no. Not to prove anything, not to show off, but to stand in the same room again and see if I still felt small. So I chose a dress. Simple. Soft cream color, no loud jewelry, no dramatic heels, just me. The same kind of woman he once said would never survive in his world. The night of the gala, as I stood outside the grand hotel entrance, I took a slow breath. Through the glass doors, I could already see the lights, the cameras, the people, and somewhere inside that hall, Daniel, still believing I never leveled up. He had no idea, because this time, I wasn't walking into his world. I was walking into mine. The moment I stepped inside the hall, the noise hit me. Soft music, glasses clinking, people laughing in small groups. Crystal lights hung from the ceiling, cameras flashed near the stage. Everything looked expensive. Everything looked powerful. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel out of place. I walked calmly across the floor. A few people glanced at me. Some recognized me, some didn't. Then I saw him. Daniel was standing near the center of the room, surrounded by men in dark suits. He was talking loudly, smiling confidently, like he owned the place. When his eyes landed on me, his smile changed. Slowly, he said something to the group and started walking toward me, drink in hand. Same confident walk, same familiar smirk. "Emma," he said, stopping in front of me. A few heads turned. I smiled politely. "Daniel." He looked me up and down. Not quickly. Slowly. Judging. "Wow," he said, loud enough for others to hear. "You really kept the same style." A few men around him smiled. I didn't react. He tilted his head slightly. "You know this isn't a casual dinner, right? This is a high-level gala." More people were watching now. The circle around us grew slightly larger. I'm aware, I said calmly. He laughed, still smiling. Still simple. Some people just don't level up. The men around him chuckled. One woman covered her mouth to hide a smile. The music kept playing, the lights kept shining, 300 guests, and my ex-husband trying to make me small again. I could feel the eyes on me, waiting for me to defend myself, to feel embarrassed, to shrink. But I didn't. I adjusted my dress slightly and smiled. "You look busy tonight," I said softly. That annoyed him. I could see it in his face. He stepped closer. "So tell me," he said quietly now, but still smiling, "who invited you?" The question hung in the air. People leaned in slightly, waiting for my answer. I looked at him for a moment. Then I said something simple. "You'll see." His smile faded just a little. Before he could respond, the music suddenly lowered, the lights near the entrance shifted, a spotlight moved toward the main doors. The host's voice echoed through the hall. "Ladies and gentlemen." The entire room began to turn. Daniel glanced toward the entrance, then back at me. I didn't move. I didn't look surprised. I didn't look nervous, because I knew exactly what was about to happen. And for the first time that night, Daniel's confident expression started to crack. The host's voice filled the hall. Tonight would not have been possible without the visionary behind this entire project. The spotlight moved to the entrance. The doors opened. A tall man in a sharp black suit walked in. Calm, focused, powerful. The entire room erupted into applause. People stood up. The host continued. "The founder and CEO of Ardent Holdings, the driving force behind this vision." Whispers spread quickly. "That's him, the founder, the main sponsor." Daniel straightened his jacket immediately. His expression changed from confusion to opportunity. He leaned toward the men beside him. "I know him," he said confidently. As the man walked through the crowd, Daniel stepped forward too, ready to shake his hand, ready to be noticed, ready to connect himself to power. He reached the stage. The applause slowly faded. Daniel positioned himself near the front, smiling, waiting. The microphone was adjusted. "Good evening," he said calmly. His voice was deep, steady. "Thank you all for being here tonight." More applause. Daniel nodded proudly. Then he continued. "This project has been years in the making." He paused. "And I want to thank someone very special." Daniel's smile widened. He stepped slightly closer. The man on stage looked across the room, not at Daniel, past him. "I want to thank my wife," he said clearly. The room went silent. Daniel's smile froze. Without her, none of this would have been possible. She believed in this vision before anyone else. She supported it when no one else could see it. She built the foundation quietly. The spotlight shifted slowly across the crowd and stopped on me. I would like everyone to meet the true strength behind this project, Emma. Gasps, whispers. All eyes turned toward me. Daniel turned too, slowly, like his body had forgotten how to move. He stepped down from the stage and walked straight toward me, not rushing, not dramatic, just certain. When he reached me, he took my hand and kissed it gently. The applause returned, louder than before. Daniel's face lost all color. The same men who laughed minutes ago were now silent, respectful, careful. My husband looked directly at Daniel for just a second. Then he said something that cut deeper than any insult. Never underestimate someone just because they choose to stay simple. The room was completely quiet. Daniel swallowed hard. Someone whispered near him, "Isn't that your ex-wife?" Another answered, "I think it is." Daniel stepped back, his shoulders lowered. The same man who laughed at my dress now couldn't even lift his eyes. I looked at him calmly. No anger, no revenge speech, just peace. "You asked who invited me. I helped build it." His lips parted, but nothing came out. 300 guests, bright lights, cameras flashing. And this time, he was the one shrinking under them. I didn't change my dress. I changed my position, and he only noticed when it was too late.